Hey guys, Mikey82 here, back to show off my favorite full-length albums from 2020. Once again, this is my list, so it's very subjective. There might be things that you don't agree with me with. There might be stuff that I've missed, but as I said before, I cannot listen to everything. Much like my EPs and demos video, these are not in any kind of order, just how I've got them stacked up. Though I am going to start off with the ones that I've done reviews for, so if you want my full thoughts on those, go check out those videos. Starting with some really solid hard rock and heavy metal out of Canada. This is Freeways with True Bearings. Absolutely love this album. It is such a great listen. And a lot of old school heavy metal vibes all over this. Stuff like Priest, Thin Lizzy, and bands of that ilk. If that's your kind of thing, check this out. Then we go to Portland for some very chaotic and mysterious black and death metal with Diabolic Oath and their debut full-length Profane Death Exodus. Absolutely crushing release. More Portland area metal. This is Luctum with Ashes of the Titans. Very good atmospheric black metal. The track Kronos Devouring His Son is just absolutely creepy. Then we go to Ohio for some old school death metal in Kurnagia with Forlorn and Forsaken. Debut full length, veterans of the death metal scene, and they show how it is done. And then finally, Obscene with The Inhabitable Dark. Again, more old school death metal, this time out of Indianapolis to be precise. Really solid stuff with vocals that are very reminiscent of Thomas Lindberg from At the Gates. Moving on to the lone tape of this video. And some might consider this a demo, but I would look at it as a full length. This is Cryptic Hatred with Free from the Grave. Finnish death metal, very crunchy, morbid style death metal with really low death growls. And it's just very evil and just very solid stuff. Next up, AC/DC and their latest album, Power Up. I mean, it's AC/DC. We never thought we were going to get a new album, and they come out with this, and it's AC/DC. I mean, they're doing their thing and doing it well. Next up, a complete blind buy when I got it, but man, I'm glad that I picked this up. This is Glacier with The Passing of Time. Heavy / power metal out of the Portland area. This is the band's debut full length, even though they have been around since 1979. A lot of vibes from Iron Maiden on here, some other classic bands, and just a real fun listen. Absolutely worth looking into. Then we have Chris Manning with his latest album, Destination. Again, a total blind buy for me at the time that I purchased it, but Texas hard rock musician. It's full of great catchy guitar work with some really nice vocals, and of course it doesn't hurt that Bruce Kulick makes an appearance on here. Definitely worth looking into. Next up, Static X with Project Regeneration Volume 1, another band that we never thought we would get a new album from, and these guys put out an absolutely killer release, in my opinion. I cannot wait for Volume 2 when it comes out. Then we have Unnatural with The Afflicted Path to Cursed Putrefaction. And some might say this doesn't really count, but it does, because even though this is a compilation of all this band's recorded material, the very last song on here is from a 3-way split that they released this year with Fetid Zombie and Rotted, so therefore, in my opinion, it counts, and this is just some absolutely killer old school death metal out of Illinois. Check that out. Next up, Sojourner with Premonitions. This album is so good. Basically an international act, mostly based out of Sweden. Third full length from these guys, and I would like to consider these guys my friends, and they have just really impressed me once again with their atmospheric epic style of heavy metal. People want to always lump them into the atmospheric black metal category, but these guys have transcended that and have created a sound all their own, mixing black metal, death metal, doom metal. I mean, it's all here and really worth checking out. Next up, Incinerate with Sacrilegium. Absolutely killer, technical, brutal death metal from Minnesota, I believe it is. Just heavy, balls to the wall death metal with vocals that kind of remind you of Corpse Grinder at times. Then we have Cataclysm with Unconquered. I know a lot of people did not like this album simply because it's a different sound for them. They're experimenting with 8-string guitars, but I just really dig this album. Really solid drum work, great bass work, and those guitars I don't mind at all. Probably their most inspired work in a long time. Next up, Suicide Silence with Become the Hunter. I tried giving their last album, their self-titled, a chance, and I just could not get into it at all. It was absolutely garbage, but these guys have totally redeemed themselves with this album, and it's absolutely crushing, and Eddie's vocals are just absolutely amazing. Check out the song, what is it? Two Steps for a great example of that. Deeds of Flesh, Nucleus. I only got this album recently, but it really made an impression on me. The performances on here is absolutely solid, technical, heavy, and all the guest vocalists did a great job. And this is a great tribute, I think, to Erik Lindmark and his legacy. Then we have the Black Dahlia Murder with Verminous. This is their 9th full-length album, and I think this just really continues their streak of releasing good albums. I mean, I thought Abysmal was but Nightbringers was killer, and this is a continuation in the right step. Really good stuff. Then we have Cytotoxin with Nuclear. This is the 4th, I believe, full-length album from this technical, brutal death metal band from Germany, all inspired by Chernobyl and nuclear power and stuff like that. Really good stuff. Grimo's vocals are just absolutely insane on here. Really worth checking out. Then we have Worm with Gloomlord. Some absolutely crushing funeral doom out of Florida. This is the band's 2nd full-length album, and I can't wait to hear what this band has got coming in the works because this is amazing. Then we have Raider with Guardians of the Fire. Death Thrash out of Canada. This is the band's debut full-length album. Got some really catchy guitar work on here, solid vocals, great drumming, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what these guys have in store for us in the future. Last but not least, the new Benediction album, Scriptures, a band that really needs no introduction. These guys have been around for a long time. And I think once they got Dave Ingram back into the fold, it really gave them a nice, energy and a shot in the ass, I guess you could say. And these guys are just veterans showing how to do death metal right, especially UK-style death metal. And that's it. That is going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. And until next time, stay brutal.